I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is, "And Now It Begins." What begins? Well, something brand new, and it can be involving everybody. And that is because you almost couldn't not make a new beginning. And the reason why is because there are 6 planets in the dynamic fire signs, and they're all trining each other. Well, fire signs like action. And so I think that everyone is going to be able to make some sort of new beginning right now. It may have been something that you wanted to do before. It may involve you starting over, not just starting something brand new, but starting something again that perhaps you had dropped or had gotten stalled for a while. Now, there are a number of reasons why you can be making a new beginning, and they're all good. And the reason is, first, that there are a lot of direct planets. In fact, there are 10 planets up there. 9 of them are direct and going forward. So that certainly helps things get off the ground. The only one that's retrograde is Saturn in Sagittarius. And so that simply means that you may need a little bit more training in something. But that's all right. You could get it now because the fire signs are so well aspected. And that is because the Sun and Uranus, that planet of sudden change and eccentricity, rebellion, and creativity and the future, are in Aries along with Mercury in Aries. And Mercury is the planet of the mind. So Mercury rules communication and change. And both the Sun and Mercury are at exactly the same degree, the 19th degree. When we reduce numbers, we add their digits. So 1 plus 9 equals 10, and then we add that again. 1 plus 0 equals 1, the number of new beginnings and the number of Aries where these planets are. And because Uranus is at 17 degrees of Aries, it is conjuncting the other 2, and 17, 1 plus 7, reduces to 8, the number of success. And so I think that whoever wants to start something over or start something new is going to sort of get it off the ground right now. And that's why I say that the title of the show is "And Now It Begins," because there just is not much stopping it. Those 3 planets in Aries are trining 2 other planets, the Moon and Saturn today in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius rules the higher mind, 4-year colleges and universities. It rules the courts, the judicial system, and also rules religion and philosophy. And it rules people in foreign countries and all large international bodies like the United Nations or the World Court. Those 5 planets are trining another planet in a fire sign, Jupiter in Leo. And yesterday, Jupiter went direct. And so it's zooming forward now. And Leo rules love affairs, children, glamour, the entertainment field. And so it also rules leadership, and it does rule children and creative efforts as well. So when we're talking about making a new beginning now, and that the timing is just right on that, we're also talking about a number of types of new beginnings. So you have a whole smorgasbord or a whole menu of things that you could begin. They could be an idea, they could be a plan, it could be a trip that you want to take, particularly a long distance trip. It could be a more serious course of study. It could be a love affair. Maybe you feel like falling in love. After all, spring is in the air now. Or it can simply be that you want to take on a leadership position, or you may want to get some extra training in order to prepare yourself for that, which would be great. It also means you could start something brand new or be a little bit rebellious right now. And that is because you may just have a certain vision and you may want to just follow that because Uranus is in Aries. So new beginnings are really well favored. What could be the hang-up? Well, you see, there is one hang-up, and it is simply that Pluto is in Capricorn, and Pluto is extremely well aspected right now. It's well fortified. Mars and Venus in Taurus are backing it up beautifully. So that Pluto is squaring the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus in Aries. Pluto rules authority figures in management in large corporations or government agencies who insist on following the rules exactly right. So that could be the hang-up. If you want to make a new beginning, I really hope you sort of stay within the rules when you do it. And that is because if you skip steps, someone will come along and tap you on the shoulder and tell you to start over again. And if you don't want that, then you have to make sure that you're going forward exactly according to rules and regulations, particularly government rules or the protocols that need to be followed in order to assure that your new beginning is a success. So be sure and stick to the rules if you can. The motive could be money too, and there can be some very good money or profit connected to a new beginning. And that is because right ahead of the 3 planets in Aries are 2 planets in Taurus, Venus, which rules the sign, and Mars. Mars is a very energetic planet, and so that simply means that people can be in a big hurry to make more money or to increase their investments, since that's what Taurus rules. So there could be a good profit motive connected with you making a new start. And since the new start looks like any new start could get off the ground right now, I hope that you don't hold back any longer and you simply give something a try right now. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, it simply means that, boy, you've just got to make a new start, Aries. And the reason why is you could be real tired of where you are. You could be terribly bored with what you're doing, and you may want to start off in a brand new direction. Well, you've got a green light, Aries, and if you can't do it at the moment, at least you could start planning it and talking to people and networking, because Mercury is exactly conjunct the Sun in your sign, which means that there is going to be some sort of communication involved in a new start for you right now. But as soon as you get that underway, you can make a new start real quickly, Aries, since Uranus is the planet of sudden change. And you could be enjoying some extra spot of good luck. And that is because Jupiter in Leo, which is trining your Sun, is now direct. And Leo rules luck, and Jupiter, the planet of goodness, is there. So you could get real lucky. You ought to buy a lotto ticket, Aries, because this is certainly a time throughout the whole month of April when you are aspected to really succeed at making a new start. Just remember, you have to sort of follow the rules and regulations and make sure that you're well prepared as well. But it does look like you get a green light right now, Aries, and it does look like you can make a swift change as well. And if it only involves taking a trip, I think that your plans would go very smoothly right now, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, money could really be on your mind right now, and that is because Venus is in your sign and it is your own ruler, so you could be wanting to provide well for your loved ones, or maybe you just got your eye on something pretty nice that you'd like to have in the way of an investment, and it certainly could involve comfort as well. And so you may be preparing an investment, getting it ready to sell. That would certainly give you enough money to make a new investment, and that would be a great idea, Taurus. So money matters can be really surging forward right now, and the reason why is those 3 planets in Aries are right behind your sun sign. So there's a lot going on in the background of your life, and it is subject to sudden change. And that's all right, Taurus, because you're a good hard worker, and the earth signs are becoming more stronger and stronger. And that is because the 2 planets in your sign are being trined by Pluto in Capricorn, which means that you may be focused on your long-term security interests, and they are looking pretty good right now, Taurus. So I think you should keep your focus on that and go ahead and sort of figure out the angles or the deals that you need to make in order to increase your profits right now, because I think you've got a good chance of doing that. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, there really aren't any planets in the air signs right now, but you could still profit from what's going on around you. And that is because the 3 planets in Aries are sextile your sun, and now Jupiter is direct and it is in Leo, and it is sextiling your sun as well. That means that if there is a sudden new beginning somewhere, you may be able to sort of transition into it or join others that are making a new start. Or it can simply be that you've got your mind on investments behind the scenes, because both Mars and Venus in Taurus are right behind your sun sign. So you might have your eye on something a little bit pricey right now, Gemini. And I would continue to concentrate on that if I were you, because, you know, things are going to happen real fast right now. There's nothing stopping that. And so the good news is, if you wanted to make a change, you could do it very quickly and probably successfully. And it could be a change that involves some sort of transition. Perhaps you would be leaving one thing, but you'd be going to something familiar, which would be great. So I wish you the best of luck, Gemini, because you see, you do have the Moon and Saturn in Sagittarius opposing your sun sign, and Neptune in Pisces squaring your sun sign. That opposition means that there are some people that doubt your skills, or that doubt that you have enough training to do what you're doing, and they may be suggesting that you get a little more. If you don't like what they're saying, maybe you want to start something completely new on your own, and you would be successful at that, particularly if you join somebody else doing that as well. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, certainly the energy is in the fire signs, and yours is a soft water sign. And so the 3 planets in Aries, the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus, are all squaring your sun, and Pluto in Capricorn is opposing your sun, meaning that whoever wants to make a new beginning right now and get it underway real quickly is probably not going to ask for your permission, Cancer. They're probably just going to do it anyway. And you may not want to go along with them. In other words, you might be pretty comfortable where you are, Cancer, and you may not feel like making a change right now. So that's all right. It doesn't mean you don't feel like spending money, though, because now that Jupiter is direct in Leo and it's right ahead of your sun sign, you may decide to go ahead and do something that can either make more money. And the reason why you'd want to make more money is so that you could follow a dream of your own. Neptune in Pisces is trining your sun. So if you've got something in the back of your mind that you've always either wanted to do or you want to have, I think you may get a green light on that, Cancer. And if I were you, I'd follow your own interests. And if you don't like what somebody else is doing, then get your mind off that by doing something that you like instead. So good luck. All right, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, you certainly are going to be lucky this week. And that luck will propel you forward into something new that you may more or less just sort of fall into, Leo. And the reason why is that it's your ruler, the sun, that is conjuncting Mercury, the planet of communication, and also Uranus is conjuncting it, and they are trining your sun sign. And now that Jupiter has gone direct in your sun sign, and the Moon and Saturn and Sagittarius are also trining it, I think that you are going to get a wonderful spot of luck. You're going to have some sort of lucky break right now, Leo, and that can lead you towards something new that is a little bit ahead of its time, or that it's inventive or somewhat ingenious. It could be in the field of music, or it could be involving something very creative. Uranus does rule music. Or if you're thinking that you want to take a trip, you are going to be able to do that in the blink of an eye. And I think that whatever you begin right now, or whatever invitation that you get, or whatever you win right now, because you could be real lucky in winning something, I think that it's going to be somewhat familiar to you, so that when you step into it, you're going to think it's no big deal, but actually it's going to be a wonderful break for you, Leo. And you are really going to enjoy the spotlight sometime this month. And you may also get the opportunity to get a little bit more serious about a course of study, because you could get some very good backing from strong people right now that want to either support you or sponsor you. And so I think it's all systems go for you, Leo. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when I think that you're very lucky behind the scenes because that Jupiter in Leo is right behind your sun. So you may have your mind on a new love affair or children's interests, or you can be just sort of thinking that you want to take a little gamble on something, and you don't have a gambling nature, but you may decide to buy a lotto ticket anyway, and I think you should. Virgo, what have you got to lose? Because there is something that has to do with money that is on your mind. And that's fine. It could be something that's a little bit pricey right now, and you might be trying to wonder how you can afford it. But Virgo, your sign rules accounting. You could redo your budget a little bit and probably afford something. Or it may be that an investment of yours has increased in value, and this might be a good time to sell it, because Venus and Mars in Taurus are trining your sun, and Pluto in Capricorn is also trining your sun. So you need to really focus on business and career matters right now and your long-term security while you have so much good support from others. And so this is a time to keenly zero in on some sort of practical matter. And the reason that I'm suggesting that is because I think you should leave emotional matters to the emotional people and just concentrate on the facts or on a business plan or on some career goals right now, because you're going to get a lot of help with that, and it's powerful help you're going to get, Virgo, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I think that somebody else is going to make a supercharged new start. And as they go on their way, you may be wondering what you're supposed to be doing, Libra, because the 3 planets in Aries do oppose your sun sign, and yet you have a lot of planets that are still supporting you. In other words, you've got support around you, Libra, and I would lean on that right now if I were you. For instance, Jupiter in Leo, which is now direct, is sextiling your sun. That simply means that you could be very popular with other people, and you could be invited into a group, or you could be invited to parties right now, and you ought to go. You'd have a lot of fun. Or it can be that there's a creative effort going on that sort of suddenly shows up on your horizon, and you should join it. You would really enjoy that, and people would enjoy your company as well, so you could make some new friends that way. And also the Moon and Saturn in Sagittarius are sextiling your sun as well, and that simply means there can be some people around. There can be well-educated men and women, or older people, or even parents that are very supportive of you right now, Libra. And that's what I mean. You know, you've got some good support around you. So if somebody sort of zooms off and goes in a new direction, you could wave goodbye to them if you want, but you also have the opportunity to have a little bit more time to yourself and really enjoy yourself right now, Libra. So you have that to look forward to some sort of relaxation, which I think you could use, because I think there has been some tension in your life. And this is a time when maybe you could start something new and take a little breather at the same time. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when I think you just need to concentrate on money, and that is because Venus and Mars, your own ruler, are in Taurus, and they are opposing your sun sign. But they are also trining your other ruler, Pluto, in Capricorn. And that means that if you've got your mind on an investment, Scorpio, or if you would like to make some sort of move, which I think is on your mind, and you're wondering if you can afford it, and perhaps you haven't even found where you want to move, but you are thinking about that, I think that you will be able to get financing. And it's just that, you know, things are very high priced right now. You may have to move a little further out to get something that fits in your budget, but it is certainly possible, Scorpio. So if you are thinking of either building something or moving somewhere, I would start to investigate that a little bit more. Remember, now is the time when things begin. It doesn't mean they're completed right now. It just means they begin. So if I were you, Scorpio, I would begin to explore other avenues. And there's also the possibility that management, which is depicted by Pluto in Capricorn, which is sextiling your sun, It's going to have some good suggestions for you. There is the possibility of a promotion or taking on some more responsibility either in your job or with a group that you belong to. And that would be very nice for you. It would be sort of an honor. And you may have that to look forward to as a new beginning as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is certainly a wonderful time to be a fire sign. Lucky you. And also, the moon and Saturn are both in your sign. Saturn is the only retrograde planet right now, meaning that you're probably getting an idea that you have to go back if you want to initiate a new beginning and get a little bit more training. Or sort of polish up your skills in one area or another. And that's all right. Or it might be that just to sort of keep the bills paid, you may have to go back to a job that you used to do in your past. But that's all right. It's well aspected. And remember that with this grand trine in fire signs, with the 3 planets in Aries trining the planets in your sign, and Jupiter in Leo also trining the planets in your sign, it simply means that you really do have quite a bit of support. So look for people who want to do new things. Maybe they can include you in their plans, which is a good idea. But also you could look for ways to be sort of lucky and creative right now because Jupiter is trining your sun sign. So this is an absolutely excellent time for you either to start something new or to go back and start something over. And I think it's the starting over that probably would work really well for you because I don't think you're in as much of a hurry to succeed as other people are. In fact, I think you want to go slow and make sure you're doing everything right. This is also a very good time for you to go on a trip if you want to, Sagittarius, so good luck on that as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when you can be really focused on money or practical problems or health matters as well, and certainly on your long-term security, which is what your sign rules anyway. So you really are in a power position right now, and that is simply because you are a person that does like to follow the rules and regulations and, you know, read the fine print, and you don't like to skip steps. Capricorn rules administration, for instance. And it does rule setting things up, or it does rule protocols and policies. So you are really in a good spot right now, Capricorn, and that is simply because you've got a lot of support from people who have money, and they want to be very careful to ensure that even if they're investing in something, that their money is secure. Well, that's the way you think as well. And so you could be asked to do something where you are setting something up, or you could be advising other people who are in a big hurry to get something started, and maybe they really need your help, Capricorn. And that is because Pluto is squaring all the planets in Aries. So you are going to insist that people follow the rules and do everything right. And even if they are in a big hurry, I think that they're really going to value your input, even if they don't want to slow down and listen to you. So I hope you stick to your guns and really look at your own financial interests right now and your health interests, because they're very well aspected for improvement. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, there aren't any planets in the air signs right now, but that's all right because everybody is in a big hurry anyway, and it is your ruler, Uranus, that is involved in all of that. So I think you're going to be involved in it too, Aquarius. As something suddenly changes, I think it's going to involve some sort of new idea or a plan, or it could even involve a trip of some sort or a course of serious study, something where you could increase your skills, or it could involve some sort of real amazing luck right now. That element of luck is open for all of us to achieve. And so, I mean, there could be just that you step into the right thing at the right time. But I think it's because somebody else wants to get something started. And remember that the planets in Aries do sextile your sun. So I think you're going to have to sort of get revved up, Aquarius, and get energized right now, because I think somebody's going to want you to really hurry up with something. And you may not really feel like that, but I think that's what you're going to have to do, Aquarius. You're going to have, in order to get something off the ground, you are really going to have to hurry now and sort of put a push on things. Or it can be that somebody else wants you to do that, and if you don't comply, they could suddenly sever a tie with you. And if you don't want that, then I think you need to go along with other people's plans right now, because they will be successful, and then that'll make you successful too. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is simply a time when I think the new beginning could involve for you something that is very nebulous, something that's very creative, something that could be sort of healing. It could involve a dream that you've always had of something, or a wish that you've always had of something that you want to do. And it could involve making plans with other people to sort of get started on it right now. Remember, now is the time when something begins. It doesn't mean that it's fully mature. Maybe it's only in the planning stages. But that is wonderful for you, Pisces, because I think it's time that you stopped dreaming and got a new start underway, something that you've always wanted. Because this is a time in your life when you are going to be very creative, and also you're going to have some magic touch that will heal others in one way or another. And so this is the time when you could perhaps get started on that, Pisces. And even if you are real busy, or even if you are profit motivated right now, who knows where a dream could lead you? So I think this is the time when you do need to get a little bit practical about it and start taking baby steps if you want to, because I know you'll be successful. Good luck. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, now is the time when something begins. And so I hope that all of you realize you do have a wonderful chance to start something new or to start something over and get a lot of help with it. So I hope all of you do have a lot of courage to time you want on our website, starborninstitute.org, and you can subscribe to it there. Bye.